That's what we want. Right down the pipe.
If he puts it in the hole, the fitting's over.
All right, guys, we've just been hitting some warm-up shots, just kind of getting a feel for the irons, getting my body warm. We went straight from the putting area straight into here. So we're gonna start off, and coming in, I kind of felt like I maybe want to do a combo set. So 6, 5, and 4 would be in the CBs, 7, 8, 9 pitch and wedge in the MBs. So I was hitting a CB to start. Now we're switching into the MBs for the 7-iron.
The way that we look at our iron fittings, right? There's a couple of key numbers that need to be operating in a good window, right? So we look at obviously ball speed. We want as much ball speed as we can get,
right?
You know, but we're going to keep it in a good operating zone.
Right.
We're going to be looking for an optimal launch angle, which, based off what I'm seeing for your club head speed, is going to be in that, you know, if I can get you 16.5 to 18.5, somewhere in that window.
Okay.
And then we need spin that operates appropriately.
Right.
So if that launch window ends up being a little bit lower, we need to find some more spin.
Yep.
If your launch angle ends up, exactly,
yep.
Stopping power is the name of the game, right? So if your launch angle is up in that, you know, 17, 18, 18.5 zone, we're good with a little bit less spin, because that ball is going to be coming down a little bit softer, a little more dead anyway.
Perfect.
So we've got to make sure that we're getting these things operating in the correct windows. With the knowledge that we like the MB as the split for the 7-iron, we'll be working through the fitting with the MB as opposed to the CB.
Okay.
I'll be putting, you know, obviously the same shaft that you have played in the past, as well as another couple of other shafts that have similar performance characteristics in terms of a flex, in terms of a kick point.
Okay.
And we're just going to hit, you know, we'll call it 7 to 10 good swings with each one.
Okay.
And I'm going to have them all classified as each shaft. We'll be able to look at the differential.
For sure.
We're going to hide a couple of outliers for each one to you know, we all hit a bad shot every now and again. But ultimately, you know, we're going to make some swings for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. And we'll talk a little bit about what is going on in your swing that creates some of these numbers.
Yep.
You know, not necessarily obviously trying to make any changes. We're swinging you right now.
Yeah.
But just getting an understanding of where we're at. So we'll toy around with some lie angles. We'll toy around some different shafts, and we're just really going to see what we can get you into.
Perfect.
So
first one we're hitting is an X100.
this is the X100.
So we got dynamic gold X100, and the MB first is going to be our first option. If y'all know, I went through a fitting and they put me into the X100 before, so that's the one we're going to start with and see how it feels, how it looks. A little bit of an open face there, not much. Felt good though. Let's try and turn that over. What was the path on that one? Not terrible.
So neutral. There he is.
That's what we want. Right down the pipe.
If he puts it in the hole, the fitting's over.
Oh! The fitting's over. We're going with that. We're good.
Dang.
That's a good start.
That's a series of perfect numbers right there,
Yep.
man. You're giving me something to beat.
So first one we left out just a little bit. Second one right nearly in the hole. Pretty straight ball flight though, which I like. That was a little more in to out on that one. I felt it, swing path wise.
Yeah.
Another one in the hole? That was over the hole.
That's smashed, man.
Right on line though.
That's what we want.
Right.
For those paying attention, he's hitting a pure blade right now
Yeah, basically.
with a series of perfect numbers.
Oh, lost that one just a hair. Not really though.
That's going to be a really, really close face-to-path relationship, just a little bit in out.
Yeah.
Yeah, 0.8 difference. Still a good swing.
Yeah, hip cleared on that one.
So we know what the miss is. The miss is a 200-yard 7-iron.
Left, pull left, yeah. Zeroed up. Just closed club face,
6.5 shot to path. That's all of it right there.
So we know my draw is what I like. It's just, again, I'm trying to work on hitting it straighter. Again, here's a straighter ball, hopefully.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Your best swings are so good. You know, especially when you're just freeing it up like that guy right there.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen a couple of those, like, I'll call them stock swings.
Right.
And we've seen a couple of freed up ones.
Yep.
Right. Those, I mean, a 188 carry,
7-iron.
7-iron,
That's
33-degree lofted 7-iron. It's not even lofted down. It's traditional lofted. That's pretty cranked, man.
like that's a small draw. I'm fine with that because typically I aim for.
Right, you're on course. You're not aiming at the center of a flag.
No, I'm aiming right,
edge of
and I'm
the
gonna
green,
let. If it does, if it doesn't draw, I'm good. If it draws a little like that, I'm good.
Yeah. Give me one more, and then we're gonna just pull up some data real quick and talk about where we're looking, and then we're gonna try to compare.
Slight pull, but hit it pretty well.
Yeah, that's all right. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and get into here real quick. Like I said, we always like to hide a couple of the big misses, so you know I'm gonna go ahead and delete them, make it a little bit easier on us.
Yeah.
But yeah, 147, 156 carry, that 175 carry is definitely not you.
Yeah, it's a little
and then I don't like seeing like these kind of 30 off lines.
Yeah.
But we know those are your misses.
Yeah, that's my
so
misses left.
I'm gonna delete a couple of the bad ones, and I'm gonna hide some of these big misses.
Yep.
These 232s. I'm gonna keep the 22 in there.
Yep.
But we're gonna hide the really big ones. So kind of going in order down the column, right? So ball speed, obviously we're going to be trying to maximize our ball speed as long as we're not sacrificing optimal launch and spin conditions. So 127 ball speed is powerful.
Right.
It's a lot of speed. And then we've got launch angle is the next big thing, right? What did I tell you we wanted that average to be at? 16.5 to like 18.5.
Yep.
So in that world, 16.8 on average, we'll look at, even that right there actually kind of says to me a little bit chunky in that spin rate.
Yeah.
But, if we look at individual shots as we go through here, 18.4, we can have lower spin. 16.3, we need to have that 65 spin. 15, we need that 62 spin. 17 kind of lets us float both ways.
Yep.
Obviously, a little miss hit right here. 16, 6,000. So the relationship between your launch angle and your spin makes a lot of sense as we go out through this.
Right.
So ultimately averaging in at about 5,900 RPMs of spin, seeing a couple different types of shots in here.
Yep.
Also with the knowledge that draws spin a little bit less than a fade does.
Mm-hmm.
So you're creating a really, really good spin condition with this shaft and this launch angle. The next big piece of data is your descent angle, right? Generally, right, higher launch angle should mean steeper descent angle.
Yep.
But the combination of those three things is that key phrase of stopping power.
Right.
Right. So we like to see a descent angle with a 7-iron 45 to 47.5. Somewhere in that world, depends on where your launch is.
Right.
So slightly lower on that launch side, but because of the spin that you're generating, you're creating a really, really good descent angle.
Okay.
So we're seeing this ball land, stop, one hop, check, done.
Right.
Right. So all of that's culminating, nice high ball flight on average, 185 carry, about what you expect. 180, 185 is pretty much your normal.
Right.
And this is a blade, dude, that you're getting a lot out of this.
Right.
You're actually getting more out of this than you were getting out of the CB.
Yeah.
Which is a cool thing to be able to say.
Right.
And
it's just that I think that's, from my dealings in the past, a CB and an MB, the MB, when you hit it good, it's going to go.
Yeah.
But the problem is the CB has that forgiveness where if you just hit just a little bit off the center, you're still going to get the forgiveness and you're not going to see a massive drop in these numbers.
Exactly.
Where here, again, the sweet spot feels to me, it feels the same because when I miss it, I'm going to feel it on both where I'm missing it. But when I don't miss it, they feel the same. It's just this one's got a little bit, I feel like just a little bit of get to it, which is fine. Just have to dial in the numbers,
Just got to find it a little bit,
just
right?
recalibrate some things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So go to a different shaft?
Yeah, we've got good data with these, right? Like, even looking up here, you can see which ones you pull hooked.
Yep.
Right? But the ones that we've hit solid are living in a really nice little circle right there. Right, a little bit longer than the flags got us pertain to, which, at the end of the day, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's all about that window. We're switching to a KBS X130.
But like you said, as far as without the big misses, the dispersion rate on the ones I hit well,
It's tight.
it's tight. Yep.
So the other cool thing that I always like to kind of talk people into as we go through this, there might be more than one correct answer,
Yeah.
right? And that's kind of the cool thing, right? So, as we're going through this, you know what an X100 feels like.
Yep.
Right? So as we go through this, if we find 3 shafts that all give us the numbers that we're looking for, your feel matters as much.
That one felt good. I mean, I don't know that I don't remember trying a KBS, but yeah, that first one, ideal. Slight pull.
Yeah. But you know what? You're allowed to miss it every now and again.
Yeah.
But yeah, the KBS Tour is one of our stock shaft offerings, and honestly, as a stock shaft, it's been very, very good in these irons.
Right. Turn just a little. You can always tell I'm like, I miss one left and then I try and overcorrect, and
That is
one that doesn't turn as much.
so mashed, man.
Yeah, it's getting up there, 131 ball speed.
I'd say you're a little bit faster with that.
Oh, you are.
That shaft.
With the same launch and spin conditions, too. Little matte burst on that guy?
Yeah, just a hair.
So that's ultimately one that will high. We should see that spin really die down.
Right.
That's a little bit of, 53. I mean, that's not, I expect that to be like a 45, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but the ball speed went down just a hair, 3 miles per hour. Instead, I want to see how I can manipulate the ball flight, so I'm going to try and hit a big hook.
Hey, he called his shot.
215 yards.
That thing's finished up going more left than forward. Look at
That
that.
was a big hook.
Dude, look at that path.
Yeah, 12. Told you I can get
I
it
don't
inside.
think I can make that happen if
you tried.
Like, no matter how much work I put into it.
Now let's go back to the straight ball, see if we can do it. A little low on the face, but
Yeah,
good
but-
miss.
And here's the other thing, right? Low on the face. What performance did you lose?
It should, increase spin, but spin's still pretty good. But ball speed went down, but still,
As it should have.
as far as distance,
Didn't lose much.
no. That's a push.
But yeah, so in the same breath, your good swings with this club are very similar numbers wise.
Yeah, it feels, the only thing I can say, maybe it's a little lighter.
Yeah, it is. It is a
Okay.
couple grams lighter. KBS 130 is an even 130. The X100 I think is 131, 132.
It's a little toey there. All right, hit a good one.
Yeah, you live in that shot all day right there.
Yeah, I
You're
would love that.
dangerous, man.
From 200 yards out, basically.
Yeah. Came in a little shallow, a little lower on the launch.
Yeah, I felt a little lower on the face.
It was a really good pro thin row. That one got up in the air nicely.
Yep.
Dude, you're smacking this one.
It feels good, man. Little left to target, but
Give me one more real good one with that one. I'll put another one in your
Okay.
hand. Nah, it's one more real good one right
Yeah.
there.
that'll work.
Okay, so whatever gym routine you're on is what I need to get on.
The non-existent gym routine, that's what I'm on right now.
He's on the.
If I need to go to the gym.
Better ball speed by, 1.4 miles an hour. Launch angles half a degree lower, happening a little bit more consistently. 2 or 150 less backspin on average. There's one swing in there, that kind of little push fade that you hit that's throwing that number up a little bit, that 6,400 spin.
Yeah.
So this guy's a little bit lower launching, a little bit less spin, still pretty efficient though.
A little farther too, it seems like.
Little farther
188.
because that spins down.
Yeah.
it's got
15 feet approximate to the hole is not bad.
yeah. I mean, all like this is another one where realistically, you can play this guy all day long.
Right.
The other one, the X100 does have a little bit better stopping power.
Okay.
But it's minuscule. We're talking
Yeah.
half degree of launch angle, 100 RPMs of spin, 0.3 degrees of descent angle.
Right.
So this is a little bit more of a piercing ball flight than the X100 was.
Right.
Outside of that, kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I like them both, but I do kind of agree that the X100 maybe is a little bit better.
I think the X100 is going to be a better performance club.
Yeah.
Out of the two that we've hit so far.
But I mean, look at that. It's two different shafts, and the groupings are.
Very similar. One's
Misses
just,
are left, and the.
one's just long.
Yeah. So, judging by how I'm hitting these, do you still think a combo set would be good for 6, 5, and 4?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Just because those are the clubs, one, you hit the least. So you don't practice. I mean, it's just, I feel like if I'm going to struggle, that's where I need the forgiveness, is what.
Yeah, absolutely. And then one of the things that's featured really, I mean, it's in both clubs, there's different types of materials, like a little bit tungsten, a little bit of a material called ceramic matrix composite, which is, not like a speed foam, but it's a metal version of that in a sense. That's just located in clubs in different areas depending on the club. Well, the CBs are more designed to help keep that club face square than the MBs are, especially in the long irons.
Yep.
So, and I love our blades. The 4-iron in the blade scares me a little bit.
Yeah, it's probably tiny.
I don't play enough golf to really be utilizing that anymore.
Right. Yeah, but I love the profile, the way that it looks.
Yeah.
One thing I felt with my other clubs that I had issue with, and they may have been a little slightly draw biased, or the offset was more or something, but I feel like I can square these up
Yes.
visually better than I can my old irons. My other irons, I felt like I was always just a tick closed, so my miss was even more left.
Even more pronounced.
So yeah, I feel like I can square these up really nicely.
Yeah.
So.
What we've moved into here is the Modus 130X.
Okay, Modus 130X.
Yeah,
got
the
it.
last two shafts that we have that make sense for your swing profile are both Modus.
Okay.
We got a 130 and a 120.
Okay.
So
And the 120 and the 130, that's the weight?
that's the weight.
Yeah. Okay.
And Modus does something kind of interesting where the 130 is actually the higher launching version of the shaft,
Okay.
which is an interesting thing to me.
Right. A little heavier, but it's higher launch.
Exactly. We're going to see where this puts you.
Okay. That was a little
Chunky.
First swing after a little break.
Yeah. But one of the things that I've found, is obviously every club has a couple of shafts that just seem to work for it. Right? The Modus
Toey.
just seems to work for our clubs. Win a lot.
KBS makes a great shaft, and the fact that it's stock is a stock option is pretty
It's a good stock option.
It's a good stock option.
In regular stiff and X Flex, we've got it. Our other stock option is a dynamic gold mid, so more for that high launch, high spin player, or needing of high launch, high spin. So, we got two really good stock shaft options. We got a good collection of upcharge shaft options. We'll see how it grows and expands as we keep going into this. He's starting to find it again.
Yeah, so guys, I was going to tell you, when you're getting a fitting, you can get into just beating balls. If you feel like you're starting to hit the ball bad or getting tired, take a break. You don't hit balls like this on the golf course. You get behind your club ball, line it up, adjust your glove, whatever, take a break, and then step into it like you do. It'll help. Instead of just beating balls.
It's always cool to kind of let someone know that at the end of an iron fitting, they've played effectively 2 rounds of golf in swings.
Yeah, feels like it.
You know,
it does. I mean, if you shoot 75, half of that's, or about what? 33% of that's putts.
We'll say 30. We'll call it, like 40% is putting. You got your chipping. There's going to be probably another, 9, 10, 11 shots. Hopefully fewer than that. But I think on average last year I was making 40 full swings in a round of golf.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, and you'll do that double today.
Yeah, I mean he's already hit 56.
Oh yeah. So. Yeah.
Draw just a little.
So as we're seeing, right, this guy's a little bit spinnier.
Yeah, it's not getting the distance as much. It's getting a little bit spinnier. I don't know that I've carried one over 185 yet.
I thought one
Maybe
you just
one.
hit was a 187 number.
Was it?
I
Oh.
believe so, if I remember correctly. But what do you say your standard 7-iron is now? Is that 180, 185? Or
It's 180, 185, and then 190 if I, have to get it there.
Yeah,
Like if I beef up a 7-iron, yeah, I can hit it 190, but I prefer not to. Left. So one thing, and this might be me, the dispersion rate on this one feels like it's,
Yeah.
and again, it might be me, but
I'm going to look at the first couple
yeah,
as, getting reacquainted with a different shaft.
yep.
Because to me, Modus feels drastically different from KBS Torex. But a couple of these misses have been a little bit wild.
Yeah, and this feels like it's, now it's pretty far left.
Yeah. The answer as to where that comes in at, so let's take a look at this real quick. The answer to where that's happening at is the same reason that we're not quite getting the same distance, is if I hide these last two kind of little chunk hookers out of here, you're 6,900 spin, 6,500 spin, 63, 64, 61. So
Way higher.
We've got a lot more spin.
Right.
Now,
And it's not really, this is the higher launching one, it's not really launching
it's not launching really
that much higher.
anyhow,
The 17.5, that may be,
right? We've got, honestly, a pretty strong, consistently lower launch angle for you here. But like what we were saying, right? If we have this lower launch angle, we want a little bit more spin.
Right.
Right, so we've got some better spin here without sacrificing any descent angle, but you're absolutely right. We're not getting as much out of this. Now, again, let me keep that in mind. I forgot to hide that 163 right there,
Right.
which is going to then turn around and influence, hey, your average. Hiding these two pools that went 190,
Yeah.
181, 185, 188, 185, 189, 187, 181, 182, you're still hitting exactly the distance you expect to hit.
Right.
So as much as maybe we feel dispersion's a conversation to have with this one,
Right. It's not always.
I'm not going to lie to you, these are optimal numbers.
Yeah. It's this thing is, you like optimal numbers, but then you go into the dispersion aspect of it. And if you don't
Exactly.
like the dispersion, then, because we have optimal numbers kind of with the other two also.
We got three good
Yeah.
shafts for you right now.
So that's good. Just the only thing, and again, I'm just hitting balls, so I may be getting tired. It's just something in my swing is just a little bit off. But so that may be something to do. But I would be interested to see maybe the next Modus to see if
Maybe that's 10 grams.
if the dispersion does anything different or.
Well, this one's going to be lighter compared to what you're used to.
Okay.
All right, so on one hand, you're coming up the back nine, we're a little bit tired, been a long day.
Yeah.
This might be a better shaft for those last couple
That's
of holes.
when I do struggle.
That's a big reason why I actually moved down to a 105X as opposed to my 120, because I'm 30, but I got the back of a 65-year-old. So,
I got the back of an 86-year-old. So.
oh, man, I got
You can see
I got some work to
hitting
do.
balls like that does a number on your back
I
sometimes.
got some work to do.
Yeah.
That you both beat. I'm a 100-year-old back.
TJ,
Don't have a back.
mine was surgically removed.
Last day back.
All right. Again, like I said,
I'm gonna
take a break, chill, set up your shot like you would if it was in the fairway. Step behind it, line it up, adjust your glove,
color change in there. We haven't thrown any
step into it like you would in the fairway, and hopefully it'll.
purple in there. All right.
Visualize everything. It's very easy to get into a bad cycle of just, like I said, just beating balls.
Love that.
See, that didn't feel great as far as where it hit in the club face, but I got zero as far as like impact on that. Like it felt like it was like right here, which I can feel a lot of my club face and where it's hitting and where it's going and stuff. So I knew it wasn't dead center.
We're classifying that a mishit.
To me, yes, it felt like a mishit.
No, I don't disagree with you. The sound, the sound of it was toey.
Yeah, it just felt like like I said, just slightly on the toe. So I knew it wasn't dead center, it wasn't flushed, but numbers-wise and flight-wise, 0 impact. That was flush, just slightly pulled.
Yeah, a little shut face on that guy. Your casual 193, who knows? For that being as big of a draw as that was, to still put 6,100 RPMs of backspin on that is very interesting.
Yeah. Let's see here. Try not to. Just a slight pull again. I'm flushing those though. That was flushed again.
Yeah, center face. Just the face is pointing the wrong direction.
Yeah, just slightly closed.
Again,
Still
that's
6,000, yeah.
really good spin.
Let's try something here. And if it's repeatable and it's drawing that much every time, then maybe I just aim right. But it's a little bit much.
That's too much.
Yeah, I think that's
It's
too
too
much.
much.
That's back Rory days. And he used to have that huge push draw.
Yeah.
Here's my overcorrection.
That overcorrection's still hammered though, man. How did you just pushed it 205 yards? So how's straight and far?
I'll take that too. And 190.
This shaft just seems like he's not working as hard. You know?
Yeah, this feels a little better.
Like he's able to
Compared to
work.
that previous one,
Yeah,
for sure.
Like you can just, I can just see it in his body.
And you've probably watched him hit more shots than just about anybody, right?
Yeah.
You're getting a ton out of this.
It feels pretty good, to be honest. See, that was low spin, but a little more. There wasn't perfect strike. That's a better slight draw instead of a bigger.
But do you, in your opinion, is that more draw than you want to see?
I would love it to start where it is and end up on the line.
Yeah.
Just a 1 yard draw would be beautiful, but that's something I said I'm working on, trying to hit straighter ball. But I'm right there between a push and
Right. this
slight overdraw. It's a very fine line. It's left.
Yeah, as much as it's fun to watch you hit this thing 200 yards, you're
almost
not
too
hitting
much.
this thing straight.
Yeah.
You're
It's
hitting
got a
this-
bigger draw on
You're
it.
hitting this thing this way,
Yeah.
right? So for me, we can like numbers all day long, but the fact that
Like I said, I would rather hit it straight
you've hit
than
20 of these,
yeah.
and you've got 4 of them on the flag,
Yeah.
or not, or like over here,
Yeah.
or that way. That's not, to me, the shaft.
Right. Let me hit one more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna act like if I were to aim right to draw it back. That was way toey, but it's gonna work.
You just gave me that like 9 into out path there, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Or 13-3. I was trying to be nice.
No, I told you I could get up there like 12.
All right, so let's take a look at all this, right? Going back into this again.
That's the push draw I was talking about with Rory.
Yeah.
He used to just,
It was the most fun thing to watch. in
oh,
the
it was
world.
so awesome. Shot tracers were incredible.
It was the greatest, right? So Modus, that's your lowest launch angle. Mm-hmm. Right, now we do have, realistically, in the same treatment that we've given everything else, let's hide out a couple of these big draws.
Right, which there's a lot.
Which there's a few of them.
Yeah.
There's definitely a few of them. So we'll call it there for now, right? 4 shots hidden.
But because of the lower launch, I got a little more distance.
You got more distance, your lower launch, and ultimately less spin,
Yeah,
right? So lower launch, lower spin will always attribute to more distance.
which 190 for a 7-iron is almost too far.
It's too much.
It's
too much.
I mean, yeah, I would rather hit at 185.
Yeah. It's one of those-
consistently,
yeah.
then
Instead of recalibrating your brain
Yeah.
and then having to learn how to trust those numbers again.
yeah,
So, we can see all this here. Ultimately, the most important thing to look at is we're going to pull the summary of it all together. So, what we can see, we're going to see a couple of graphs that are going to show your ball flight and your dispersion patterns. We're going to see the summary of your ball speeds, your launch angles, your spins.
right,
So from a speed perspective, the Modus 120 was the best. Now,
Right.
of course, it's going to create the most ball speed. There's no spin and a low launch.
Yeah.
Of course, it's going to have the most speed. The KBS Tour was the second best ball speed. And then when we transfer that over to that top right dispersion chart, the KBS Tour is also the straightest one that you hit,
right,
which is kind of cool to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your effective launch angle is fantastic with all of these. I'm happy with all of them.
okay,
So launch angle to me is not really something that I'm considering. Your descent angle on the other screen has been plus minus like half a degree
Yeah, pretty-
throughout. So I'm not living and dying by that.
right,
Where we're going to have this conversation is where do we want our spin to be,
right,
right? So realistically, they're all pretty close together. They're all fairly close. If we're going to live and die by the numbers, the Modus 130 actually gives you the best spin. Get a little bit, it's fairly straight.
I think that's the one that had the biggest dispersion
But
rate,
that's
though.
the one that had a pretty wide
I would
dispersion.
kind of, now that I'm warmer, I would kind of like to hit the X100 again.
Yeah.
But see if the ball speed is the same, the spin is the same.
Now that we're kind of in it a little.
Yeah, now that I'm kind of, no, I'm warm completely now, and
Yeah.
that was the first one we hit. So if you don't mind,
Let's do it.
that was, and that's one I'm familiar with. So I'd like to see if
where
it's
it
still
comes
the
back
one
together.
that fits for everything.
But the good thing is in here, for me, thinking about the shots that you hit, thinking about where your golf game is from a performance perspective,
Right.
even with you not being completely warm, I'm actually leaning in the X100.
Yeah. I was looking at everything completely.
Looking at the full picture.
Yeah, and I was like, judging, it was dispersion, and then spin is the second highest, and that 185 number is where we wanted to be. So the ball speed's a little down, but I think if I re-hit it,
Back up.
But I also think the X100 was one that, watching you,
It was effortless.
You weren't fighting, you weren't
Yeah.
fighting it. You were just flowing with it.
It was like you were coming home a little bit.
yeah, I said this. I've had it before. I know the feel of it. I'm familiar with it. So back to the X100 real quick, just to see numbers-wise if ball speed goes up, if anything changed. Dispersion's still good. God, see, that just feels so good.
Dude, it just looks like coming home, man.
Like, that's the baby draw that I would love. And the ball speed, 131. It was 127. That was averaged,
Yeah.
but
That shot in and of itself is all I need to know that I want you in the X100.
I think I want me in the X100 too. We're gonna hit one more and then. It was a slight closed face, but still just
Yeah.
smoked.
But you do that with the 130, that thing's in the left rough.
Yeah,
Yeah, that 5.3 face to path relationship shut with the Modus 130 was putting you way further left.
yeah. One more. Slight pull again, but again, that's me.
Yeah. So you hit and you played 36 holes, 54 holes already.
It's
Give me a
starting to get
couple. Give me a
little
couple with that fade swing. Let me see that fade swing.
Okay, let's straighten it out a little bit.
Because you get just as much out of a fade as you do a draw. That's so cool.
Right.
There's a little toey there. And the thing is, the fade is just a baby fade.
It's just subtle. And that was towed, and again, you didn't lose any distance.
No, yeah,
from towing.
128. I lost a little ball speed, but it was toey. But distance-wise,
Yeah, man, this thing's like coming home. It really is.
yeah. See, a little less distance there, but you expect that. It's more spin.
Yeah. Launch angle's staying great.
A
Descent
little deep,
angle's
steeper
fantastic.
angle of attack.
Your smash factors on it's phenomenal. I mean,
Right.
everything.
I think we found our shaft, guys.
Dude.
X100, once again, like you said, coming home. So we're still gonna go 7, 8, 9 pitch and wedge in the MB, which we'll get some more footage of this here in a second, but beautiful. We got the honeycomb in here. And then the CB in the 6, 5, and 4.
Correct.
Good deal. Grips, right?
You like chord.
I do like chord.
Do you want some loud color chord, or do we want some, you know, kind of quiet chord?
I don't know. To be honest, I was looking at it, you know, online. I saw all these. I kind of like the green, dude. What do you think?
Yeah, man.
Look at Brian.
I like it.
The little
I like it.
Masters green. I kind of like the green.
That's not where I thought you were going, but I do like.
I kind of like the green. I think
like
I was thinking either green or just a traditional.
Have fun with it.
Right. I think I'm going to go green.
It's Bettinardi, you know. We're not
Right.
afraid of, we're not afraid of some color.
Well, another thing too is but that's a different color blue. If we had navy.
Yeah, this is Chicago flag color.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're Texas.
That's hometown in it. So.
Yeah. Now before I tried this on the wedges, I don't like this on the wedges. The tour wrap.
Yeah,
It's got to be clean, or it's
a weird.
It's not. Yeah, if it's not clean, I don't like it. So I think we're just going to stick all the way through the bag. Is there possible to go maybe different color on the wedges?
We can get a different color on the wedges.
Yeah, I think maybe just do white on the wedges.
Okay.
White and green. It's definitely Masters colors, right?
Yeah, I like that.
So do white on the wedges, the 3 wedges, which I typically do 50, 54, 58.
Okay.
54, 58 RJ grind 100%.
RJ.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, stay tuned, guys, because they're coming out with new wedges, and we will be
Coming up.
hopefully getting those and checking them out and doing a review on those and everything. So I'm pumped.
That was a show, man. I appreciate you letting me watch that.
No
That was
problem. I
sweet.
appreciate you. Everything. You're super knowledgeable. That's one thing that stands out. I've had fittings before, and those guys, they go through trainings and they know what they know, but you know your stuff, and
Thank
I
you.
really
Appreciate
appreciate that because it's good to know and you be able to explain why we want this, why we want that, and everything. So once again, guys, if y'all are in the area, please come see my guy Nick here at Studio B Bettinardi here in Chicago, Illinois. By far the best fitting I've ever had, and I've had multiple. So
Well, thank you.
I appreciate
I do
that.
appreciate
Yep,
that, man. I appreciate you
definitely.
spending your time with us today, man.
yeah, I appreciate y'all having us out. We really appreciate.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah, the hospitality has been wonderful. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe, drop a like on the video, and stay tuned for more great golf content.